FY25?
No, sir, we did not did any price increase in the financial year 2025. There was no price increase in the year 24-25. And the level of current competition from both local players and imports, maybe Ali Saab can answer that question.
So the question is that what is the level of current competition from both local players and imports?
Yeah, so local players are basically constituting in the lead acid battery space. We don't see any threat from imports. But the concern with the imports is more due to the lithium-ion space, where cells are being imported. That is something that may affect local manufacturing. So this is something we have to be watchful on and resultantly consider entering the lithium-ion space also through a trading opportunity.
Okay. The next question is to kindly clarify difference between AMB and MCB batteries. AMB stands for automotive batteries and MCB is for motorcycle batteries. And the last question is that what is the sales mix in the autos and solar sales?
Yeah. So there is no official actually number because for heavy batteries, the usage is in vehicles as well, and the UPS and solar segment as well. And some segments like DC tall and tubular segments, the use is specifically for the UPS and solar segments. So maybe our best estimate is from internal point of view, it's around automotive sales are around the split is actually 40 in the energy storage segment and 60 in the automotive segment. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from Akshay Thakur, Alphala Investments. The margins for the year arrived at 11% compared to 14% in the last year. So when you see the margins to come back to that level, and what margins one should expect from this kind of business going forward?
Comment on revenue.
Comment on the revenue as well, as it has declined by 15% year on year. What have been the trend of volumes up till now?
So the first question, the margins for the year are at 11% as compared to the 14% recorded last year. So primarily, we don't see them coming up for maybe let's say maybe 2 years, best case scenario, because there is a shift in consumer demand from heavy to medium segment, and our heavy segment was generating more profit margins for us as compared to the medium segment. So by the time we come, as Alisa mentioned, if we do come in the lithium segment, in the heavy segment, so then we can expect the margins to increase again. And the second question, the revenue, it has declined by 15% year on year. So, by the end of this month, the quarter volumes will be up. The board meeting is expected in September. So you'll get a sense of the volumes from the quarterly published report. Yes.
Next question is from Naveed Ilahi. What are your sales to the replacement market? Has that seen an increase in volume as the economic situation has improved?
So our sale in the replacement market is 82% is in the replacement market, actually, the percentages. If you look at the automotive sales, the automotive sales is primarily coming from the replacement market. The OEM segment is lower when we look at it. Has there been an increase in the volumes as the economic situation has improved? Lisa, would you like to comment on it?
Yeah, so unfortunately, the stabilization measures that have taken place at the macro level, whereby the macro economy is looking better, that hasn't trickled down to our trade yet. So we, of course, remain hopeful that at some point the purchasing power will improve and the replacement market will again show some growth. And as Shoaib mentioned, we would like to see a pivot back towards the heavier batteries because that's where we enjoy the strongest margins. But as things stand year on year, we saw a decline in unit sales to the tune of about 6 to 7%. And this fiscal year, we were not, as things stand, convinced that there'll be much growth until and unless we see the microeconomy pick up and purchasing power improves. So we remain hopeful, but as things stand, we're not convinced that will occur in the immediate term.
Okay.
Has the motorcycle battery sale increased in the replacement market? No, not that much, but they have sustained the volumes. A major increase came from the OEM segment.
Mr. Shoaib has raised a hand. Sir, over to you.
Sir, in the year under review, as we saw a shift from heavy to medium batteries, the competition increased. And we saw that hit both in sales and margins. Now, you mentioned that there's an unconventional price gap between the competitors, some of which you've narrowed during the year. Can you explain your near-term strategy? Are we looking to take this competition head-on in terms of aggressive pricing, or are we looking to maintain our margins at the cost of market share?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think we now have to somehow find a way to fight for market share. So as things stand, we are undertaking a lot of measures to reduce our costs and cost down activities from material, method, machine, and so on are being undertaken at an operational level. And whatever savings we can incur from our operations, we look to use to reduce the price gap with the competition. So if, for example, we have a cost down of 3% this year, the likelihood is we will pass to the market 80 to 90% of that and leave a nominal amount for our P&L. And the thinking here really is to sustain the company for the medium to long term, and for that, we must win back market share.
Got it. And coming to free replacements, in about 22, I think our replacements were about 3% of sales. They've gone to about 5%. Now, in the past, you mentioned that most of this is due to improper use in the heavy battery sides and the solar segment. As the market shifts away from the heavy, can we expect this free warranty provision to be lower?
This free replacement is certainly an area where we feel that some savings can occur. The dilemma is that whenever you try to curb on free replacements, there can be a reaction from the market, which in turn impacts your market share, because a competitor is very liberal in free replacements. But specifically, if we do see a turn towards medium segment from heavy, and if that cannibalization sustains, then indeed, in absolute terms, we may see some reduction in the replacement figures. Also, if you pass on the price impact or the cost efficiency impact the market, there is a possibility that your retail price comes down, and that also in turn can reduce the quantum of your free replacement. But this is something that we feel is we're likely to succeed on this count, not throughout the year, but for those 3 or 4 months when the market is buoyant, that's our best opportunity to curb the free replacements. Otherwise, for 8 months of the year, we have to most probably remain liberal in line with competition.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Azim Akhundzada. Mr. Azim, please put your question.
I'm Azim from Sherman Securities. My question was regarding the cost of the battery. So I believe the major component of a battery is lead. So how much in terms of percentage in terms of both volume and value lead is used in one battery, or do you import it or source it locally through recycling or something? Please comment on this.
Okay. So, Azim, coming to your first question, yes, lead is primarily the material used in our battery manufacturing, and is primarily sourced from local sources. Yes, primarily it comes from the local recycling. The lead is locally recycled. Second question, the percentage. Our material cost is about 67 to 68% of NSV. So 80% of that is lead cost, and rest is other components. So that is the answer to your question.
So it is same in terms of volume as well. Can you comment on in terms of volume?
Can you clarify this question? What do you mean by in terms of volume?
How much lead in kgs is used in one battery?
And it depends entirely on the mix and the volume of the production. So that is a very sort of a.
Can you comment on average basis?
So on an average basis, basically we consume about 2,000 tons on a monthly basis, so 24,000 tons of lead on an annual basis. Yeah, in an approximate number. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Next question is from Mustaqim Azim Sir.
Assalamu alaikum. My question was regarding the entire solar battery market. If you can shed some light on the lithium batteries that are coming into Pakistan, because in my opinion, what I was thinking was that if there is a battery available from a brand like Atlas, the consumers from the solar space would rather prefer Atlas over any imported battery. So is my understanding about this correct or it's wrong? If it is correct, do you think that should we expect that in the next few months, Atlas would be going ahead with this market? And one last thing, if you guys go ahead with it, what kind of margins is there on the importing and then selling it? Because I don't think so we'll be making lithium ions in Pakistan. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good question. So we, brand equity, Mustaqim, comes from, operational excellence, sophisticated manufacturing, good branding, good sales, good quality, right? All of these things, when they come together, gives you after sales, gives you brand equity. Now, in the case of lithium ion and the possibility that a customer with an Atlas branded product will switch to our product, we'd love to see this happen. But as things stand, the whole business model of lithium ion batteries is favors the trader rather than the manufacturer. And essentially, already there are approximately 20 traders, and that's, I think, the right way to sort of describe them, who are importing cells from China, where there's a surplus, and they're essentially dumping in countries wherever there is demand. And Pakistan happens to be one of those markets because of the solar boom. So what's happening is that you're getting these battery cells into Pakistan, and you're merely doing a sub-assembly. So you're literally getting the box and putting the cells in those and putting whatever brand you want on it and then selling it. And this is a threat, we believe, to local manufacturing. It is also a technological disruption in that lead acid is now being potentially replaced by lithium ion, at least in the solar space. So we will certainly be entering this space. But specifically to answer your question, will the customer then flock to our product? Well, only if they want quality, which of course we will ensure. But other than that, you'll have to compete on pricing. Because as things stand, it will be a mere commodity, right? There's not much to it other than that. And as for the margins, well, whatever trading margins one can, eke out is probably what you'll see on the P&L maybe this time next year to some extent. But bottom line is that we can't ignore this space, and whatever the business model is, we'll have to bring a product that can rival whatever these traders bring to the marketplace.
Thank you, Alisa, for such a detailed answer. I just wanted to ask one simple small thing again. Can your warranty be the thing that can bring solar people, solar buyers to Atlas? I assume all the importers, they have the same thing, the same battery, and unless they develop in Pakistan, it's very difficult to quantify unless you have a long-term agreement with a renowned battery maker in China. But do you think these warranties that Atlas offers would be able to bring them towards you instead of 20 scattered suppliers? Because I assume the second thing you have is the entire pan-Pakistan distribution network. So if I go to a gully in any small city, I would find a Atlas shop rather than these people who are showing ads on the in the PSL matches and stuff, because these are very small, low distribution businesses. Can you please shed some light on this? And lastly, I'm sorry, I'm extending my question. Last thing, when do you think we'll be able to? Hello. When do you think Pakistan will be in a situation to assemble these batteries in Pakistan?
Yeah, so what you are stating is exactly what we hope will happen. That our, on a 4P basis, if you look at the place, right? So we have an extensive pan-Pakistan network. We have an after-sales team. We already feel that we can service the lithium-ion product better than most of these traders, in that our team has already received some training where they can remotely help customers or physically in person with any installation issues and etc. Because this is more electronics and configuration rather than anything else. So over time, we think that that is the kind of infrastructure we enjoy, and it may not pay immediate dividends, but maybe over 3 to 5 years, customers will look for a holistic 360-degree solution, so gain some competitive advantage. As far as full assembly and what we call manufacturing is concerned, the lithium ion cell itself cannot be manufactured in Pakistan. That requires a multi-million-dollar investment. And one would only have undertake that if there was scale and if there was perhaps a pivot towards a strong pivot towards EVs, and that we could possibly have a partnership with an OEM to undertake such an investment. But all you can probably do with lithium ion over the next 5 to 7 years minimum is simply do sub-assembly or full assembly of the product, which is not particularly sophisticated. Otherwise you wouldn't have 20 odd players looking to enter this space.
Okay. Next question is from Naveed Ilahi Saab. Is the decline in industry-wide phenomena or Atlas as a brand? New bikes are selling, but you are saying that people aren't replacing bike battery due to economic issues.
So Naveed Saab, what we are saying is that automotive sale or motorcycle OEM sale is doing good. Even our numbers of OEM and motorcycle OEM are doing very good. But what we are essentially saying is the energy storage segment and the replacement segment has gone down because of the shift of the consumer demand from heavy to medium, and the price and the discount war that is happening in the industry. So that is the answer to your question.
Next question is from Akshay Thakur, Alphala Investments. Can you please guide where the medium batteries are being used and what will drive their growth? And why is such that trend is shifting from towards medium from heavy? And how strong do you see this trend to remain intact?
So medium batteries are essentially used in vehicles as well and the energy storage segment as well. They are used in both segments. But what is happening is कि एक छोटा आदमी जिसकी income level जो है वो बहुत limited है. So what he does is कि वो एक solar की plate एक battery के साथ medium या light को connect करता है और वो उस battery के साथ अपनी energy need को जो है वो meet करता है. So that's what essentially is happening कि वो जो consumer segment था जो कि heavy battery खरीद लेता था for this inflation impact, वो अब medium battery की तरफ चला गया. और similarly जो हमारी electrical appliances अब आ रही हैं, they are consuming less power. So this shift is also towards that as well. और एक और फैक्टर ये भी है कि हेवी के साथ, क्योंकि आप हेवी जब बेचते हैं तो अब इंपोर्ट के इन्फ्लक्स के साथ जो है लिथियम भी आ गया है, तो दैट इज आल्सो अफेक्टिंग द हेवी सेगमेंट एज वेल.
Another question is that please share total market size of Pakistan and your share in it.
So we think as things stand About 10 million units is the market size, and our share is approximately 20%.
Okay. There is a question from Osama Naim, AKD Securities. When does the company plans to manufacture the lithium-ion batteries? And capex what is the capex the company is planning to develop the product?
Yeah, so we're looking into entering the space, as already mentioned, and timelines can change, but hopefully by this time next year, certainly we're hopeful our product will be in the market. In fact, we've already started a very small pilot of Atlas branded lithium-ion batteries, just to sort of understand the market dynamics and consumer behavior. So we've learned a lot from this mini pilot, and whatever gaps we felt we had in the product, we're addressing them before doing a full launch within the next 12 months or so, maybe a little bit sooner. The capex involved, well, all one can say is that it's not very significant, which ironically is not a good thing. If higher the capex, better for a company like Atlas Battery, because it creates barriers to entry. So low capex invites competition and can cause price wars, which will make not only create hyper intensity in competition, but also result in very thin margins.
Thank you. Any other question from the participants? Okay, thank you so much. This is Atlas Battery team signing off. Goodbye. Thanks.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Recording stop.